very lucky man. Today, I count myself very lucky because I don't need to say what I thought I would say. Because Professor Naji and Mark have done it all. Thank you very much. But Mark hasn't finished his job because I think he now has to develop from his presentation a template. That template we have to use to see which of our candidates for governorship is really qualified. And unless they can pass with 75% mark, then we shouldn't vote for them. Usually, I become very tired of myself when we come to talk about the development of the Southeast, because I have a peculiar, I think Professor Naji is now too tired of me talking about the same issue, and that is the issue of the Igbo man and the Igbo land. We're talking about ease of business, that of business, that of business. But the psychological underpinning of what we are suffering from, we have yet to look at it. The question is, how come that in every part of the world, Iceland, name it, Timbuktu, the Igbo man excels? As the Igbo man excels everywhere, this place becomes deserted. And I borrowed from a Scottish ballad where it says, when you come to most of the villages, there is no light in the window and there is no welcome at the door. Why? Because the children have all gone away, their parents have also gone away. Will they come back to their home? The answer is no. And if you all reckon in our own villages and towns, starting from mine, if you take my elder brother, my eldest brother is dead, unfortunately, but where is his wife? It's in London. His first son in Barcelona. His 3 other sons in London. His daughter in London. Has he a house at home? Yes, a beautiful house, surrounded by 3 dilapidated Mercedes-Benz cars and almost overgrown by weeds, which we now have to keep clean, because or else we'll be attracting reptiles and all sorts of things. But if you go there in the evening, will you see a light in the window? No. If you knock at the door, will anybody open for you? No. This is what we are turning out to be in the Southeast. And unless we start thinking about it seriously, we are getting nowhere. I'm always an optimist. And I challenge luminaries in professors to really find out what has happened to us. Because unless you know what has happened to you and recognize it, you will not make good use of it. I hate to hear when they say the Igbos are marginalized. We are not. Really, we are holding this country. But if you don't recognize what you have, you can't claim it. Because, name it, we have it. But where do we have it? Outside the Igbo land, which is unfortunate. But this is not why I'm asked to come and say. I'm asked to come and talk about the Southeast development. Now, I'm going to take it that people are going to think about the philosophical underpinning why we are not what we should be. Because if you take what has happened to us in the last few years, where a whole tribe rose against itself, a whole tribe rose against itself. Chikasiya from Nnewi, people took a decision that we should develop Nnewi, isn't it? So when it started, what happened? They started driving them out one by one. The River State, when they started this lovely business called kidnapping, they never kidnapped anybody from their state. But when we learned the trade, it started from our homes. And then you have a hierarchical ascendancy of an industry. Which of you can walk from your house, as we used to do when we were children, go from one house to another house in the evening? Which of you can go from your house to another place without escorts? Isn't it a shame, a shameful thing, that we now have to go to our villages with what? Soldiers, policemen. You see, these are some of those things we really have to think. Because it is good to have ease of business, but there are certain things, if you don't get them right, you haven't started. Therefore, you know this. Now, to my speech. I'm sorry, you see, I've been a teacher. Don't give a teacher a microphone. Because the issue for which we are gathered, the development of the South, is critical and very important to the region. For this reason, we have enlisted the services of experts. You see the area of people that are going to talk to us, to drive the conversation. However, as chairman of the occasion, permit me to structure my opening remarks along three interrelated headings. The challenge, which highlights the unique issues faced by the Southeast, issues for developing the Southeast, including required investments and economic infrastructure, and the soft issues. Because usually for me, the soft issues are really the key things. And heading the soft issues is security, good governance, culture, and ethos. Before, when I was a child, we used to respect age. It's no longer so. Before, an Igbo man would swear with all the powers that he can pull down from heaven that he doesn't have money. You only know that an Igbo man is wealthy when you hear that his son is here, the daughter is there, but if you ask him for a penny, he will tell you that he doesn't have two couples that rub against each other. But it's not so now. Anybody with 3 kobo will close the gate, and when he sees his senior, he will tell him, sit down. Are you the one feeding me? Now, I'm going to give straight to my... I want Professor Naji, please spare me this, because once I have this, I am really mad. Mad with myself because I'm an Igbo. I'm mad with all of you and all of us. Because I was telling Chief Pascal Dozie the other day, this morning, I said, I was apologizing to him. He said, I'm sorry, sir. We have not given you the respect you deserve. Because he's an icon. It's a legacy, and it is ours. Do we celebrate him? No. The last time I was at his house was by accident. I missed my road I was passing from Nemo to Imo State. If you recall, sir, midnight I bumped at his place. I said, how do I get out from here to the main road? Since then, have I gone to say, how are you, sir? No. So I'm equally guilty. Now to my papers. What is the challenge? As we meet today, it would be worthwhile to begin by highlighting once again where the rain started hitting us. As late sage Chinua Achebe would admonish. A major reality over the years has been the fact that a lot of certain Easterners, compared to other groups, live outside the region. Whereas this has been the case even before the Nigerian Civil War, a number of factors have accentuated the trend since 1970s. Among these factors include that of educational institutions to accommodate the positively insatiable quest for education by Igbos, low employment opportunities resulting from weak absorptive capacities of the few employers in the region, C, weak business opportunities following inadequate infrastructure and low purchasing power among the local population. Clearly, these factors have been acting as push and centrifugal forces for Igbos to move out of the southeast region. Whereas the Southeasterners have done well in establishing socio-cultural and town union organizations to bring themselves together with outside the region, it has since been foretold that economic ventures in the region, yes, thank you. You should have done this earlier. Whereas the Southeasterners have done well in establishing the socio-cultural and town union organizations have been themselves together, while outside the region, it has since been foretold that economic ventures in the region will play the tripartite role of developing the region, uniting the people and getting them to think southeast, thereby acting as pull and centripetal forces towards the region, mobilizing, attracting, and nurturing economic ventures, supporting the development of much-needed infrastructure, and deploying ancillary programs, and therefore critical to the development of our region. Clearly, it stands to reason that addressing three challenges are the reason, the term for our meeting today. I talked about development issues, which has already been spoken by Mark and Professor Naji. Then I talked about education. If you look at the number of private universities in this country, you can see where they're located. And then you can count by your fingers how many are in Southeast. So we talked about economic infrastructure, and then talked about ICT, information, communication and technology. Then other soft issues, good governance, and leadership. When I was growing up, and Basilica Mechika bear me witness, the Igbo leadership has always been collective. Am I right, sir? It has always been collective. You don't have one man who knows it all. They know it, they meet, but then they have a spokesman whom we think is the leader. But it's just the leader that speaks for collective wisdom. Can we go back to that? Tomorrow you make somebody a governor. Then he turns out and said he's the leader of the Igbos or the leader of that state. It is not true. It can be true. These are some of the things that hinder development. These are the things that hinder development. I can't see where the Oba of Lagos will phone Ambode and say, I want to come and see Ejosa, Mabinu. What time do I want me to come and see you? He will run and see the Oba of Lagos. It can't happen in the southeast. Can it? No. And then you want development. You can't until we solve the cultural position. And some of the cultural positions, it's what we expected to have. We expected to have 9 a.m. And when the people are trickling in and we are recognizing them and clapping. Of course not. A nation that does not respect time will find it difficult to progress. Thank you.